Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here. Hi, Dr. GangaRao. Nice to see you, and I'm very proud of the work that you're doing at West Virginia University, the innovation, the inspiration that you are. I got to visit your lab and see your bridge materials and all the things that you're doing. So I'm really pleased that you're here to be a part of this really esteemed panel of academics. I really think I haven't been here. I've listened a little bit in my office, but I'm hearing from those who have listened to every word that it's been a very beneficial panel. So if you could just help us on the composite thing, and you might have covered this again, but I'd like to hear it again, that most people are unaware that plastic polymers and resins are essential to innovative composite materials and that are used in technologies, not just roads and bridges, but electric cars and windmills and everything. So what kind of role do polymers play in the composition of the composite materials that you're working with?
As I indicated earlier, the United States produces about 120 billion pounds of composites, of the resins, of which about 20 to 25 billion pounds is going into composites. And this industry is approximately 100 to 150 billion dollars. The most important thing I want to highlight here today is the fact that we are dealing with lightweight materials that are going to be lasting much, much longer than conventional materials. And once we move towards natural fibers, natural resin-based composites, we are going to absorb the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through the agricultural operations and still maintain this high quality of a composite product. And this is not well understood. Mm-hmm. When people speak about composites, they talk about it from a negative standpoint, based on the conventional wisdom, no doubt about it. However, we want to bring a slightly different perspective where we can bridge this gap between the rural and the urban areas by generating a much higher volumes of natural fibers and other kinds of synthetic fibers and also natural resins that will help a great deal in not only making the product durable, but also less expensive, but even more important, assuming lower magnitudes of, or emitting lower magnitudes of carbon, enhancing the carbon sequestration.
Thank you. This next question may be a part of what you just explained. Are there technologies being developed now to address the end-of-life challenges for reusing and composite materials? I mean, are you looking at recycling composite materials, and do you use already recycled and reused plastics in your materials?
As I said before, about 23% of the discarded plastics are being recycled in Europe. Mm-hmm. And we are unfortunately at this point doing only 5% of recycling.
Is that because the recycled material is not available, or it's too expensive, or is it what's the reason that we don't have a higher percentage there, do you think?
There are a number of reasons. One of them is obviously the composites are not going to break down like your single-use plastics. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the availability, the supply chain is not there. Mm-hmm. That's one issue. The other issue is we are beginning to understand the impacts of these discarded materials, mm-hmm. And it'll take us a little bit longer to try to ramp up the recycling issues, And
right. So basically what you're telling me here, at least the way I'm hearing and I've seen in your lab, and again, thank you for hosting me, is that there is a market for reused and recycling plastics within the composites, I'll say industry or development of those materials, which could and would, I think, lead to be a solution to where we are. And then you mentioned composite materials last longer, are lighter weight, and they also, in the end, with more natural materials, will absorb more and have more carbon sequestration. So, I mean, those sound like a winning formula as we move forward with the innovation that you're doing and inspiring that next generation students to do as well. So thank you very much. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, certainly that's correct. I totally agree with that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Sure.